Hello, buddy. This is Mr. MMW, and I'm coming back to you with another episode of War in the Pacific. This time, guess what day it is? It is March 1st, meaning that this is the end of the month, and we have our Imperial Conference. Let us first take a look, as we usually do, at the losses. Here is the losses for today, 16 to 41. Supposedly we killed a lot of Chinese craft and maybe over India. That would be good. We can also take a look at the totals. How many we killed? Nearly 300 Warhawks we killed. Of course, a lot of buffaloes. But we did suffer quite a lot of zero casualties in return, which is not nice. Thankfully, our Oscars are only at 71, which is a great trade-off compared to these guys. So yeah, these are the biggest ones. Of course, our nails did suffer a bit, but this is not something that we cannot recover from. And we have a 2-to-1 loss ratio right now. Very good. In where should we look? Sunk ships. Last turn we lose nothing, naturally. Meanwhile, they lose supposedly a battleship. I'm not convinced. And we know that we torpedoed another one. They also lose a trump, wherever it is. Okay, it is. And the warden and a bunch of APs. That's good. If we look at all-time casualties, we do supposedly have the Enterprise sunk. Actually, we know this is true. But not the Lexington, which is not nice. BB-wise, apparently at Hawaii, we only sunk 2 battleships. Which is not nice at all. But the Repulse and the Prince of Wales is of course sunk, and many ships. That's if we sorted by ships alone. 3 heavy cruisers and a bunch of light cruisers. That's good. Mainly through torpedoes. DDs, a good bunch of them. APs, a lot of them. AOs, a good number. And tankers, a lot of tankers. This is of course very good. Not many subs, so I do not know what they are doing with them. Maybe they're patrolling off in some weird direction. Or maybe they're patrolling Japan. And I'm just dumb. Our losses are of course heavy in return, but mainly transports due to coastal guns and subs. We did lose a small but decent number of tankers, which is not nice. And shipping wise, navy ship wise, only 4 destroyers and of course the Haruna, which is a shame. Pilot wise, we lose 8 today and 335 plus 144 overall, which is not nice, but there you go. I also, of course, manage my pilot pools today, of course. Here you go. Here is how this pool looks. Again, I am not pulling from the reserve pool, except when I absolutely need to, which, for example, was today. And I can show you what we have in the pool today. As a result, I forgot to show you, how it looked last time. Let's start off with the army, because it's simpler. So here we have 640 pilots in the pool, and all of them, every single one is trained. What trained means to me is over 60 air skill. So take a look. All of them, even these ones with low experience, have 60 air experience. And it took me 3 months, right? From December to the end of February, 3 months to train all of the pilots I pulled from the pool on the first turn, which was 800. And of course I have many, assigned, which is the lack, and of course losses, which is where the 160 pilots extra are. With the naval land bombers, the situation isn't so nice. We do have, I'd say, 2/3 of them are trained, but we still have like 100 or so, which are not, or 200. And if I remember rightly, I pulled 1,000 pilots into the bomber pool. So this is good. By next month we will of course have all of them trained for ground bombing. But of course at the end of the day it doesn't matter, because we're gonna be training both our pilots and both our fighter pilots and our bomber pilots in both skills. So we are gonna be making a true fighter bombing force, air force for the army, which is what I have done with a bunch of these guys. I do still have residuals who need to be trained in air, but a bunch of the other ones, where is it? See, they're training in ground bombing. And we're going to go through all of these guys yet again. We're gonna be reshuffling them into our training squads, or maybe some of our bomber squads when we take losses. And we're gonna be training them in both ground and air. Same with these guys. So it will take a little longer. Our recon isn't doing as great. About like 1/3 of them are trained, but whatever. We do not take many losses over there. Now with these guys, my plan of training, doing the 3 months crash course in order to get a large pool of pilots, of float plane pilots who are both trained in naval search and ASW, has paid off finally. And you can see this in the patrol pool. We finally have some in the patrol pool, and you can see they're all trained in both of these guys. So if need be to do ASW work, we have our guys. I'm still of course training them just to round out. I still have how many? Nearly 300 pilots in training. They are nearly trained, By the end of the next month we're gonna have like 300 full pilots who are trained in that. I also pulled some extra from our bombers forces and some extra from the replenishment pool, because they were just done. And of course I had none in the pool, no extra noobs in the pool. So there you go. Let us look at the overall result then. We have 221 fighters, and all of them are also trained. Both the fighter pools in both the army and the navy have been trained. So that's good. Meaning that with my fighters, I'm doing some low sweeps in order to work on that defense. Which is good. Then we have a bit of a problem with our bombers. With our torpedo planes, we have like 50 or so pilots, and with our bombers we have also about 50 which are trained, which is not great. But this is mainly due to the fact that I am bringing a lot of the ones that have been trained in one or the other. You see, a lot of torpedo planes are into dive bomber squads, and they are training bombing, and the reverse is true for the torpedo bombers. You see, a lot of very high skilled naval bombing, they're going to train torpedoes. And of course I don't have a great number of both of these guys. Only 300, so there you go. Same with these guys. Yeah. Very few squads. This is about it, and of course I'm using the patrol planes for naval torpedo. I think this is all for my pilot training. Looking at our industry, I shall show you the full version soon enough, but we are very nearly at our goal. You can see, by the way, let me show you this. I have unfortunately done some mistakes here, but we have of course stripped most of our useless planes, and I have been quite dumb in the... I don't know if it was a mistake or I just didn't know about it, but I converted the Sally to research, which was a bit of a dumb mistake for me. But here we go. And in our engine research, you see we have 358 in pool HE32s, nearly 80 HE33s. This is because I reduced the Jakes to 30. 350 HE34s, and 460. We are nearly over 500 with the HE35s. And now I shall go over the bigger issue. Here we go. This is my research. I shall of course do it on cam to cover what has changed. There you go. This is my what I have achieved for February. This is my goal, of course. We are nearly there with our HE32s. We have reached our goal with the HE33s, which is of course the big problem engine. The HE34s are just a couple of days away, and the HE35s we have achieved our goals. All very good. And we are of course aiming towards the 1943 plan, which will of course involve many HE45s replacing the Kates and the Belts mainly. Over here, not many new things. We have of course completed our tanker plan. What is it? The engines, the heavy industry. We are of course no longer expanding, because we are going to capture India of course and China, so no reason to expand. And I shall show you something funny with our tracker in a moment. Then let us go to our goals. Yes, let me actually show you the operational plan for today. Of course, Bad Div 3 is going to patrol Ceylon just to sweep some stuff. Actually, this one was left for me. So you see, this is the industry changes that I will make today. I'm gonna convert one HA32 35 factory to one HA45 factory. I'll show you in a bit. And no other stuff really to do. Let us go to what we have achieved. In February 42, we were supposed to capture Wencao, Lanchao, and Yan'an. We have achieved this one, but we have failed this one. Unfortunate. And we are I have no idea why we put Kienko and Kenshin over here, but alright. Kenshin we already have done. I'm gonna put it into here. And you see our goals. We may accomplish this sooner, of course. Oh, and of course Urumqi, naturally, 2 months ahead of time. We accomplished this, of course. Now what we have not achieved last time, we have achieved this time. We supposedly were to capture Southern Burma and the auxiliary bases in the DEI. We have achieved that. We have also captured New Caledonia. Fiji, we have only landed in Ceylon, so I'm not gonna count that as capturing it. We have not yet captured northern Burma, of course. What else is there? What did I fail? Oh, of course, Java and Sumatra and Batavia. We have achieved this. Of course, the problem is that we didn't completely capture the Jiljap. This will happen, of course, very soon into March. What else did I fail? Sumatra, yes. This is pretty much all our goals done. So for March, in China we're gonna capture Changsha and Kiankou. Hopefully even more. Actually, I'm gonna do this. There you go. I want to capture the Guangxi area too. We'll see if we manage that. And with the Navy in March, I am indeed going to capture Ceylon. Not only land in Burma, but also capture Calcutta and Assam. There you go, that is my goal for then. There we go. I shall show you now my... Where is it? My tracker, because unfortunately I did an oopsie and I had to reinstall my tracker. If only it will detect it. There we go. This is my tracker. This is the chart, and I'm gonna edit this in here. You may notice that my heavy industry is somehow down from last month. How? I do not know. And I wish for somebody to explain it to me. Because every single number is accurate, by the way. I checked in game. The heavy industry did expand. The light industry did expand. The oil centers, we are of course very nearly at our max oil centers. Nearly 3200, which is extremely good. Meaning that we are pumping 30,000 worth of fuel every day. Worth of oil, really, every day. Which is incredibly good because Japan itself requires 30,000. So of course we do use our ships. And we do have an excess of refineries. There we go. Our supply situation. Take a look at this. I'm also gonna edit this in here because I have lost it. Take a look. Our supply situation is amazing somehow. I have no idea how, but we increased our supply. Maybe due to my economic planning and due to us not building a lot of airplanes. But also, I mean, I was quite wasteful in China, if I'm completely honest. I was quite wasteful in burning a lot of my troops there. But somehow we have economized and we are up already in the supply department. Same with the fuel, but this is not surprising. We captured the DI. Same with the oil, we are looking mighty fine. And the resources, of course, keep going up. Therefore, all is well in our empire. If we take a look at the bases, by the way, where is it? There was one place to check it. I keep forgetting. Was it bases? No. Intel map? No. There was one such place where I could see... I hate it. Also, by the way, if you want to see, there you go. This is in a more compressed format. Same with our engines. My research didn't change, by the way. It's still exact the same as last time, except we are upgrading some of our planes. Oh, here we go. This is what I want to see. Take a look at the supply in our bases. Port Arthur is number 1, and number 2 is Rabaul. My logistics situation is so good that Rabaul is the number 2 most well supplied base in our empire. Which is amazing to see, because you usually, as Japan, you usually have tons of problems in Rabaul with supply. And the fort is Truk, which is great. Tokyo is somehow very much down, but this is because I have, a bunch of bases in Japan are requesting supply, so that it doesn't pile up in a single base. There you go. And we have a single base with spoilage, which is where is it? Come on, Jambi. Which unfortunately I do need to repair it, meaning that I need to be over 10,000 supply. And it's a very remote base, meaning that I can't be bothered. There you go. Fuel-wise, things are looking good. We are pumping Japan full of fuel, of course. This is pretty much it for, you can see the totals here. There you go. Let us now go back. Sorry. There you go. I closed that. Let us now go back actually to our spreadsheet, and then quickly go back to the map, because I have an important decision to announce. A new great operation is going to take place in the relatively near future. I shall call it Operation Akahige, which use Google Translate to know what it means. While we are doing all of this, and I have been told off on doing this, by the way, we are going to be invading the Soviet Union. This is a great and mighty undertaking, and I have been told that this is a stupid idea, but frankly, I know better. There you go. And I'm gonna... You can read this if you want. This is my plan for now, but I'm gonna go in-game and show you. So, there you go. And here's the game. Back in the game we are. So, here we go in Manchuria. So, we are going to fight the Soviet Union. What does this entail? You might ask. Because you, as well as I, might not be familiar with the region that is Siberia and its distinct characteristics. And I have tried my hardest to do some research. First of all, I used a bit of espionage to know where the Soviet Union units are at the beginning of the game. Of course, they may have moved them. I do not know how the AI managed these things. And everything might very well fail. But let's see. Now, the date for invasion. I have not decided yet. My intention is to invade somewhere in April. Why? Because that is when I get some reinforcements for the Kwantung Army and for anti-tank guns and such things, which also I very much need points to buy some stuff from Japan. Meaning that for the entirety of March we will probably not invade. Which is unfortunate, but we do very much need those reinforcements. Also, the Soviet Union, in June, specifically June 22nd, and from then on, they start getting reinforcements. From the beginning of the game up to June, they do not get much stuff. But from then on, they get a steady trickle of like 300 AV every 2 weeks or so, right? Which is a lot when you think about it. Meaning that I very much want to defeat the Soviet Union when they are weaker. People usually leave the Soviet Union to be invaded in 1944. I will not. Because my goal to defeat the Soviet Union is not a quick and decisive action. It is a slow attritional war where I completely destroy the Soviet Union and its fighting capacity. And you shall see how I do that. Now I have assessed the troop quantities that the enemy has. So, and in my estimation, we have 5 fronts. We have the Mongolian front, which will be this entire region, right? And for this, I'm going to be using my Mongolian army, which is going to Wasu right now. This is, by the way, why capturing Wasu and Kashgar is very much important. Because after you take every single base in the Soviet Union, to achieve our goal, of course, we will need to take this base and this base. They can still go to Almaty and come out from over here. But if we capture these bases, they cannot. They are literally stuck in the Soviet Union. They cannot come out on the map if we capture all of these bases. Which is great. And that will be our victory condition, of course. Capture the entire world, of course. Then we have, mainly due to the road situation, it is an absolute nightmare over here, the northern front, which is towards Chita. And this is this base, these bases and this road. Because as you can see, there are not many roads that connect to the north. And we have only a singular base here. There you go. Then we have the central front, which I shall call this place, between Kuibishevka and Khabarovsk, which is a bunch of the, well, a bunch of, where a lot of the fighting will take place. Then we have the southern front towards Vladivostok and this region, south of this lake. Then we have the smaller bases over here, which even though this operation is smaller, they do still have a bunch of forces here. And here is some oil, which is of course very nice. But also, a bunch of the industry that the Soviets have is over here. Yes, in this base, the Cosmo whatever. And there is another base. I forget where it is. Alexandrovka or some... Oh, this one. And also, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. 11-0 here too. Which, of course, we will have to deal with the Soviet Navy and Air Force. But that's a question for to be expanded upon later. So, how about the forces that they have? From my information, due to espionage, they have about 5 divisions in Mongolia. They do not have, however, much in Irkutsk, which is here. There are 5 divisions near Chita. There are 4 divisions near Kuibishevka. This is here. There are 2 divisions on Sakhalin. There are 5 divisions near Khabarovsk, over here. There are 9 divisions near Vladivostok. So if you are good at math, this is a bit of a problem. And of course I have to be smart because I have few forces. Here are my forces. Where is it? I have already moved them. Near to combat Kuibishevka, I have 2 armies, the 5th and the 6th. And right now they only have 4 divisions. But they also have support. They have no armor, but good artillery and a bit of AE and anti-tank and some pioneers and engineers. Over here at Kotou, to combat Khabarovsk, we have the 20th and the 3rd armies with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divisions. No armor, but we do have artillery and AA, and also some engineers. And at Yankee, to combat the Vladivostok force, we have the 4th army with 1 whole division. Now you may ask, how the hell am I going to win this? This does not seem as like a very smart war to be fighting. Well, this is where geography and tactics come in. My plan of attack is quite simple, frankly. I'm going to be using instead of spreading my force out, I'm going to be doing two pincers, because the Soviet Union is quite vulnerable due to the geography, the fact that they only have one rail line. My goal will be to cross this river with these two armies, get over here, and destroy the forces at Kuibishevka. Do a siege here, if you will. So essentially encircle them from over here. Then with these two armies, so I have 5 armies, right? 2 are over here, 2 are over here. These guys will go into here and then go to Khabarovsk, take these 2 bases, and when they retreat into here and here, I'm going to use 4 armies to encircle and destroy those many units that they have between these 2 bases. And of course, annihilate them. Afterwards, so this is my first plan of attack. Eliminate the concentration of forces between these 2 bases due to causing a defeat in detail, after which 2 of these armies will go to Vladivostok, and these 2 armies will go to combat the forces near Chita. And all the meanwhile, my Mongolian army will do whatever it can, which isn't very encouraging, I know. But they'll do whatever they can to combat, take these outlying bases in Mongolia, and maybe if they can go to Ulaanbaatar, which is the ultimate goal. And I also think this is where I'm gonna be using most of my armor, because I predict to face a lot of Soviet resistance there. As you can see, I have already brought some engineers up to important bases in order to build up airfields. I'm building all of these ones up, and I have my units here, of course. But these are not nowhere near enough forces, meaning that I intend to use these forces that I will get Yerevan with. I will use these forces near Telso. All of them will be reassigned somewhere. And then after I take the Changsha area, I think I will pull 1 or 2 divisions from the 11th. Since we are only going to garrison this Changsha area. We are not going to be pushing further into China from here. Same with these guys, but I don't think we will have enough forces to reallocate anything. And of course, I will pull whatever force I can from Japan. Whenever I get the PP from. You know. And then these guys that are going to deal with Atu and these islands, Dutch Harbor, in March. In April they will deal with this base and these bases. And of course my navy will also play a big part. I hope to get Yamato and all my BBs together, and my carriers maybe, the ones from India, to bombard Vladivostok. Because frankly, Vladivostok is going to be a pain in the ass. As will Chongqing be, of course, but we will see. Same with the Soviet Air Force and their AA guns. They will be a gigantic pain in my ass. But there you go. So, also if you may think that this is an idiotic idea, let me tell you my reasons to invade. Firstly, we are gonna have to face the Soviet Union inevitably. And of course our goal is to conquer the world, so we need to take them on. Meaning that it is better to inflict losses now and slowly grind the TOEs and their equipment than let them get an overwhelming force when we will simply not be able to counter them anymore. Then of course we have the operational weakness of the Soviets, and this is what I elaborated earlier, that they are very spread out in regions, and they cannot really reinforce each other. It will be very difficult for the Soviets to reinforce their cut-off regions over here, while I am sieging them, of course. And here's my plan to succeed. Again, we will slowly grind the Soviet equipment. I'm going to bomb all of their industry, including the manpower, and every single bit of heavy industry and light industry I will strategically bomb in order to not let them get even a tiny bit of reinforcements, in order to deal with to get an edge over Soviet units, which I know have an edge in artillery. Although I'm not very sure. Actually, I can even check in game if I go to the database. Allied infantry. If I look at the Soviet infantry, let me take a look. You can see IJE squad has a soft of 22 and then anti-armor of 5. 22, okay. And the Soviets, if I can find them, Mongolian, take a look at this. Mongolians are actually pretty good. Come on now. Soviet, there you go. Soviet, where is infantry? Rifle squad. There you go. Yikes, they are quite a bit better than me. I did not realize this. They have quite a bit more. Oh, sorry, this is 43. Ahaha, the 41 squad is way worse than my troops. And they even have worse anti-armor. Meaning that this is very much encouraging me to strike before 43, before they get these amazing squads. There we go. We have found our justification to invade. And in order to get a decisive advantage over the Soviets, in April, I intend to have my Nyx and Helens, the aircraft, in production. And they, of course, have armor, our aircraft with armor. And hopefully by then our army pilots will be true fighter bombers, meaning that our Nyx will do ground attack, and our Helens will wreak havoc over the heavy Soviet cities and completely destroy them in clear terrain. And I'm going to particularly target their tanks and their coastal artillery with them. I'm gonna try my hardest to use my aircraft smartly, unlike what I am doing in China, because of course in China they have only a couple types of units, meaning that you just have to bomb them over and over again. And unlike these shitty Sallies, you know, the Helens, they have the same loadout. They have more AA guns, and they have armor, and they have good range. So they are incredible aircraft. Same with the Nyx. A lot of people don't like the Nyx for some godforsaken reason. I love them. If I could find them. Any day now. Here we go. But only this first variant is good. I'm also gonna be using these guys to deal with the Soviet Air Force, of course, the Soviet fighters. Because while they have a bunch of I-16s which are shitty, and I can deal with them whatever the case, the MiGs in particular are gonna be trouble. Because I'm not gonna be assigning any zeros there, of course. And these guys, not only do they have good bombs, they have armor, meaning, and they have 20mm cannon and some 12mm cannons, MGs, in central position, and they have good range. So this aircraft will be my key to victory in the Soviet Union. I will of course have to use my anti-tank weapons and my siege artillery and my tanks very wisely. We shall see if I am capable of that. And of course, we shall see. So my operational plan. Yeah, all of this. I'm reading my thingy here. I will of course reassign a bunch of the units that are extra in the south. I can't speak English today. My armor from the south will be reassigned in order to form the 1st and 2nd armor divisions, which will be formed in June, I think. But of course, I will need to reassign them, and also a couple of regiments that are in the south area will need to be reassigned back to China. And yeah, I think that is it. Reallocate these ones, buy out key Japanese units. Good, this is pretty much it. I think I've talked about everything. And I think if you have, of course, any questions that you may want to ask me about my Soviet plan, I will, of course, answer them. But we shall defeat them, of course. That is the goal. Let us now turn the turn. I have spent 1,000,000 years. And here we go. Not that much is gonna happen this turn. But let's see what happens. I did, of course, have... oh, right, my guys near Ceylon. Very nice. Oh, somebody took a mine. But this is, of course, very nice. I pondered a lot about where my next offensive should be. But frankly, I very much debated, instead of invading the Soviet Union, I debated maybe invading Alaska or invading Pearl Harbor. But frankly, that is not a good idea right now. Oh, god damn it. I forgot to mention this, but these guys carry supply, and I decided to rush them in here. Unfortunately, they got intercepted, but they failed to find me. That's good. Oh, shut up. They are unloading at Port Moresby again. Oh yeah, by the way, I have moved... my H-6Ks to Noumea, meaning that now we have torpedo bombers at Noumea, which is very good. But they're not active now, they're just training. And here are my torpedo bombers from Ceylon. The port is, of course, overstacked. But we do manage to put 2 torpedoes into 2 ships. That's good. And here come 52 Bettys. And they managed to hit 2 shitty ships. Alright. Well, they at least do take some losses. Oh, here is the resolution. It did not sink. But now it shall. 2 torpedoes. And the Revenge is very much still alive, but the Resolution is now very much sunk. That is amazing. And where the hell are my cruisers? I really want them to engage. Here we come again into the exact hex where my guys are. 1 torpedo, okay. Wasting supply, I guess. I do not really have enough supply in Ceylon to deal with that. And naturally we miss, because that's what we're best at. And here we bomb the Jiljap more. Alright, 2 tankers on fire. That's good. And now we do think one AP with a bunch of vehicles apparently on board. That's great. So I really need to reassign some of my guys near Fiji. I need to bring them to Port Moresby. I did, by the way, send some stuff to pick up those guys from Fiji. I'm gonna be spreading out my forces since, you know, they are quite broken right now and they need to reinforce, which will take at least like 2 weeks. And here we are attacking near Batavia, the remainder of these forces. Surrender already, goddammit. I'm dumb, I should have encircled them. Only now I realize. But now they take 8,000 casualties, that's amazing. And here we attack here, Jesus Christ, take a look, they brought a bunch of stuff out. Yeah. Not a good look, Sweaty. Did they... It does not look like they, It doesn't look like they brought stuff out of here, though they might. It looks like they just had a bunch of stuff here and they came out. Not nice. I wanted to encircle them, but this is a bit of a problem. Oh, come on. Deal with these guys already. And we knock these guys back to Kienko. It's Mao Zedong himself. And here we have more success, naturally. Oh, right. This guy's invaded in Magwe. And now we are kicking their ass back. Our 15th army is marching to Magwe. To, you know, that base. We are attacking Jaffna, and there is apparently not much here. Alright. These tanks should suffice to capture this base. Oh, come on. These tiny units are incredibly annoying. These British units are still here. We are gonna be surrounding them in a bit. That's out so. Hopefully these guys are out of supply. Jeez. Xi'an expands. That's good. I can't wait to actually bomb Chungking properly. Oh, we got a new squad. I think that's a training squad. On to the next day. And here we go. They are still unloading here. They hit a mine, I think. And take a look, we intercepted that battleship. Very nice, the Revenge. During the night at 3,000 yards, meaning that they are very much well in torpedo range. And all of my ships naturally have torpedoes. Come on now. Well, my carriers did not manage to find these battleships. Presumably they were like in Africa or something. But my cruisers did, and if we can manage to sink them, then that's good enough for me. Yes, and we do manage to sink the Revenge. Very good, 2 torpedoes and 20 shells. That is, of course, incredibly good. Nice. Also, by the way, I finally got some fuel into Numea, meaning that now we can refuel our subs there, and I already did that. Nice, and we sink a destroyer and a little ship. Here we come again. And we're seeing another cargo ship with troops on board. Very good. They do apparently have AA here. What the hell am I bombing? Ah, I think the new Chinese cores have a little bit of AA, maybe. The old ones don't. This is good skill building and destroying of supply. Here we are over Chittagong. 2 plane skill, that's good. Here we come again and the skies are clear. Very good. And apparently some planes from Darwin are intercepting us. That's not good. I really want to get some AA stuff in there. Oh, and finally the High Command surrenders. That's good. 2 HQ surrender. That is very good. And we attack here and they still do not surrender. What the hell? But we do destroy them. That's good. We attack at Jaffna again and we don't take any casualties. So at least that's good. But take a look. Did they just land another brigade? They have 3 brigades now in Port Moresby. Jesus Christ. As destroyed as they are, you know, they do have much more AEV than I do. Yeah, this is a bit of a problem. You know what? I might relocate one of the divisions. I might regret it, but yeah, I think I will relocate one of the divisions to go to Port Moresby. Maybe they'll spend like a week in Noumea. And then they can go there. Oh, come on. These guys are so annoying. And my paratroopers in Lashio are still there. Amazing. Oh, and finally Rabol expands to airfield size 7. That is good, and that is it for today. Bit of a long video, of course. At Kukong? Huh. What the hell? Excuse me, at Kukong? I have 17 out of 20. These bastards. Whatever. I shall save now before the game crashes, because you know how this game is. And thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.